Yes?
When they're growling.
Well, if they're growling, yes, of course. Definitely not then.
When they're mad.
When they're mad, yes. And there are some other times too. Like if you see a car and it's parked and you see a dog inside of it, that's a really good time not to go near that car. Because you don't know the dog and you don't know if the dog is upset or stressed. So we don't go near dogs that are in cars. We also don't go near dogs that are behind fences. Anybody ever see a dog behind a fence?
Yes.
We stay away from those dogs because we don't know those dogs either. And if you ever see a dog that's tied up, like tied to a tree or tied to a chain, which is very, very sad, we don't go near those dogs either. So really, there's only one time that we're going to go over to anybody's dog and see if we can go ahead and interact with them. Does anybody know when that time might be? I'll give you a hint. I have the dogs and I'm holding their leashes.
Oh,
What?
when there's an owner.
Yes, good job, when there's an owner. So when you see somebody that has a dog and the dog is on a leash, you may ask that person if it's safe for you to pet their dog. So what you're going to do is you're going to walk over to somebody. Don't get too close because you don't know if they're going to say yes or no. And you don't know if the dog may be scared or happy to see you. And you're going to say, "May I please pet your dog?" So let's all say that together. May I please pet your dog? Oh no, one more time. May I please pet your dog? Just like in school. Okay. And then if the owner says yes, then we're going to show you the right way to pet the dog. But do you think that there could be a time that the owner might say no?
Yes.
Yes. Because sometimes maybe the owner is too busy. Maybe they have to get back home and they don't have time to really let you sit there and play with their dog. Or maybe the dog isn't feeling well that day. You know, dogs can get sick too, just like people. So if the dog isn't feeling good, that wouldn't be a good time to pet. They may want to smell your legs or your feet. If you have a little bit of peanut butter left on your face, you may get lots of kisses. But in general, dogs want to smell so they can pick up your scent. And then they get to know you. So a dog smelling you is like a handshake. When you meet a new person, do you shake their hand? Okay, so it's the same thing. So what we're going to do is, before we let a dog smell us, or we give them our hand to smell, we're going to do a couple of things that are going to keep our hands safe. The first thing that we're going to do is we're going to hold our hand up. So everybody pick your hand up, palm facing me, and you're going to take your thumb, which can get a little wiggly at times, and we're going to tuck it into our palm. And then we're going to take our 4 remaining fingers, and we're just going to lightly cover our thumb over with our fingers over with our thumb, okay? So that our thumb isn't hanging out here like a little dog treat for somebody to take a little sniff of. So we're going to tuck like that. Everybody got it? Then we're going to take our hand, and we're going to put it right down by the dog's nose. And we're going to let the dog smell it. Now, if it's a dog like Lola, you're going to get lots of kisses. So you're going to let the dog smell your hand, and when the dog smells your hand, then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and pet the dog, because now we know it's safe for us to do so. So if you see a dog like Lola who has no tail, see how Lola doesn't have a tail? She has just a little stub. And we see Karma. See how she has no tail? She just has a little stub also. But Sydney has a tail. Buddy has a tail. So you can see if their tails are wagging. And if Lola's little stub is wagging, she's happy too. But where do you think we might want to pet a dog that might be a safe place? On the back, yep, that's a safe place. Where else? Anybody else have another idea? Yes? You can pet them on the head, but there's a better place to pet them. Yep?
Stomach.
Not really.
On the back.
On their back is a good place, yes. Where else? How about under their chin?
Yeah.
Like right under their chin.
Yeah.
So here's what we don't want to do.
No.
Lola wants to get very, very close to you and give you kisses. She's decided that you're going to be the kissing one of the day. Lola! Okay, so what we don't want to do is we don't want to take our hand and hold it over the dog's eyes, like this. See how a lot of people go over to pet a dog and they do this over their eyes to get to the top of their head? That's not safe. right? If you don't know this dog, now I know Lola very well, so I can do a lot of things to her, but a stranger should not do things to dogs that they don't know. So if you put your hand over the dog's eyes, the dog's going to go like that and blink and turn its head because it's not going to be able to see where your hand is going. So if I wanted to come over and I wanted to give you a hug, but I covered your eyes first, you would be scared, right? Because you wouldn't be able to see where I was going. So it's the same thing with the dogs. So what we want to do is we want to pet the dogs across their back, because this is a nice safe place to pet them, and under their chin because they can see where our hand is. They can see our hand coming towards their face, underneath, as opposed to over the top where they can't see where your hand is going. Now, Lola, of course, is a therapy dog, so she doesn't really care if you pet her over the head. But you have to remember that these are specially trained dogs. However, any dog can still get scared. So even though they're specially trained dogs, that still means that you have to pet them the right way, the most appropriate way. Okay? Everybody got that?
Yes.
Okay, so you're walking down the street and you see somebody with a dog. First thing we do is what? Raise your hand. Ask what?
Can I please pet your dog?
Excellent. Okay, everybody, all together. May I please?
Pet your dog.
Yeah, we have to do a better job. One more time.
May I please pet your dog?
Yes. Okay, so if I say yes, what's the next thing you're going to do? Show me. Everybody just show me. What's the next thing? Show me. Yep, we're going to take our hands. Everybody tucking their fingers in. Tuck your fingers in. What's the next thing? Somebody I haven't called on yet. Yes. Pat her on the back. On the chin. We don't want to pet over her face. Alright, so let me see if I can get someone to demonstrate for me. Do I have somebody that wants to demonstrate for me all the way in the back? Which dog would you like to demonstrate with? Lola? Okay. So, what are you going to do? What are you going to do first? Hold on, let's start again. Lola. Okay, go ahead.
May I please pet your dog?
Yes, you may. Good job. You have a little peanut butter on your leg? Are you sure? Good job. Thank you. Okay, how about one more? How about a boy? Can I get a boy? Yes. Come on. Which dog would you like?
Lola.
Oh! Everybody wants you, Lola.
They can, but
You can. But you have to wait 1 second. Buddy has to move. Buddy! Come here, buddy.
Buddy.
Yes. All right, what's the first thing you're going to do?
may I please pet your dog?
Yes, you may. Good job. You thought about the ears for a second, right? Yeah. Just remember that the places on a dog that are not safe are if you cover the dog's eyes. You really don't want to pet there. If you don't know me, I shouldn't be doing that to you. That's not really polite. So we just want to keep our hands on the dog's back or underneath the dog's chin. Now, some dogs, like Karma and Lola, they like to throw their bodies on the ground, flip their legs upside down, and give you their belly. If a dog offers you their belly, you can go and pet their belly. But it's very important that you make sure that you don't put your face by the dog's face. Okay? So no matter how friendly the dog is, and even if you have a dog at home, does anybody have a dog at home? Okay. You don't want to put your face right up against the dog's face. Because if the dog gets scared or startled or frightened, you could get nipped. So it's never a safe thing to do to put your face that close to a dog. Even if it's your pet and you've had it for all your life. Okay? Anybody have any questions? See how Lola's wagging her stuff? Does she look happy?
Yep.
Does she look friendly?
Yeah.
Does she look like she needs to have some love and kisses?
Yeah.
Anybody have any questions?
No.
Yes?
My daughter will look at a dog a block away on a leash and then just
run towards it, so I don't like to say she has to have me before she can ask the owner.
Yes,
to have the
definitely.
dog.
Yep. Yep, and that's a very good point, boys and girls. If you're not with your parent or your guardian or your grandparent or your aunt or some adult, then you should not even go and approach another person with a dog. You need to make sure that you ask your parent or your guardian before you do that. You have a question?
My auntie has a friend and that has a dog, and I see her every day. So, but I asked first if may I pet the dog, and they say yes. And sometimes when I pet them, the dog like kisses me.
Was that a question or was that a story? Okay. Anybody else have a question? Yes? Question or story?
It's not a story. Should you put your hand near its mouth?
Nope. Why would you do that?
Maybe
dog-
it
the
was
dog
like-
might- the dog, well, the dog may not necessarily bite you. I mean, the dog could bite you. But do you think that if I sit here and I do this to Lola, do you think she really likes this? Do you think that's enjoyable to her?
I don't know that.
So we don't really want to do that, even if it doesn't bother her. Underneath her chin, you can just give her a little pat, like right here, underneath her chin. But you know how people are afraid of big dogs, and they're afraid of these Rottweilers? You see how sweet Lola is? She's the best dog in the whole world, right? Would you like to have some meet and greet time? Anybody else signed up for reading? Okay. How about if I take some kids out to meet the dogs while you finish your reading?